Today I'm ready to be proven wrong. Over the years, I've casted many viewer-submitted games in StarCraft 2, and I've seen a couple of Planetary Fortress rushes. However, I've always assumed that that is one of those strategies that only works in the lower leagues of StarCraft 2. Now, what I've got for you today are a couple of replays sent over by the Red Terran player. He's playing under the Salt Cannon ID. However, he's better known under the nickname of uThermal, one of the very best European Terrans. Apparently, he's been climbing the ladder recently with Planetary Fortress rushes. So, from what I've heard, these replays are absolutely amazing, so I'm excited to find out exactly what he has been working on lately. His opponent, or should I say victim, in the opposite corner, playing here with the blue Zerg drones. We are looking at a Barcode's nickname, so I guess I'll be calling him Johnny. Johnny the Zerg. No idea who this is. He's playing under a barcode just to hide his ID. And this guy, he is at 4.9, like close to 5k MMR. You know the worst problem about this whole situation, right? And why this might be a little bit of a reality check for myself as well. I haven't been playing a lot of StarCraft 2 ladder lately, but if I were to do my placement matches right now, I'm pretty sure I would be ranked right around the same MMR as this guy. It would take a little bit for me to climb up the ladder once again. Here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing about Planetary Fortress rushes. Especially against Zerg. How in the world are you gonna pull it off? So I've seen a bunch of planetary rushes in the, well, in the viewer-submitted replays, right? Where the players start off by building a command center right over here, for example, and then they fly it into the opponent's main base. The problem against Zerg in particular is that you can't land the planetary on creep. You can't land the Terran structure on the creep. So how in the world are you gonna make a Planetary Fortress rush work here, Mark? I have no idea. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with his challenges, he does permit himself a couple of early game units just to, well, not lose the game early on. Just, for example, having no Reaper or no Marine available in the early game, it, yeah, immediately leaves you wide open to a variety. Are we really aiming for right over there? There's no way. It leaves you open, though, if you don't make any of the early game defensive units. It leaves you open to, yeah, a lot of early game cheese as well, so... Generally speaking, uThermal doesn't go for the cheese right from the get-go. He doesn't rush out a Planetary Fortress or any aggression that he's aiming for. He scouts that his opponent has gone for a third hatchery. And apparently that right now is the cue to go for a command center right over here at a base that, well, I guess the Zerg would normally make quite a bit later. If the Zerg was now aware of the fact that there was a command center building, he could pick it off very easily, but at this point he's had no vision whatsoever, plus, well, a very small amount of information in general. The Overlords have been flying in a bunch of different directions, anywhere but across the map, so he doesn't actually know what he's playing against at all. He's gonna assume that there's a CC building here on the low ground, but instead, he's gonna find out that there are already a few Hellions out. This is a bit early. Those Hellions are not supposed to already be available. At the same time, there's also a Ghost Academy coming up. Now, in order to start off a Planetary Fortress, you do need to have an engineering bay. So I'm assuming we're gonna be starting one of those up very, very soon. First up, though, it's gonna be a tech lab over here, and the Hellions are mostly just here, I guess, to put on some pressure. Maybe they'll be able to deal a significant amount of damage as well. I'm not sure. Jimmy over here, man. Look at him. Absolute badass. Guns for just a second at 5 hit points. Would have died by anything, but yeah, he decided to shoot right there at the creep tumor regardless. There indeed is now the engineering bay coming up. And this is also the moment where that command center finished. What in the world are we gonna do with that command center? Okay, really? We're gonna put it in between the natural and the third? That creep is spreading really quickly. The queens, I mean, he must see it right now. Yeah, he does see the command center. He snipes the creep tumor, which is huge, because the queens, oh my god, they're trying to prevent this from happening. Oh my god, you gotta lend it. You gotta lend it. If you don't lend it, okay, you can't morph it in. Is this the spot? This is the spot. Zerglings are running on over in this direction. Link speed is just about to finish up. Queen is has already been sniped here as well because the Ghost has come across. SCV right now that built that command center initially is going to try and repair this one back up. It's going to take a little bit. Planetary at this point about halfway done. Ghost still working on another queen as well, and that one also falls. As soon as this Planetary finishes, life is going to get much easier right here for uThermal. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, it's gonna finish. It is gonna finish, but it's already burning, though. It's already burning. Is he gonna pull additional workers? I feel like he almost should. Okay, he's not gonna pull additional workers. This is mostly just being used, I guess, to clear out all of the units that the Zerg does have at their disposal. At this point, it's only 28 workers here for the Zerg. Oh my god, the SCV! The SCV pulled just in time! I could have sworn that that command center was gonna die, but he decides to, lose! No! What? No way! It actually lives. It actually lives. That's ridiculous. Okay, I already had written this Planetary Fortress up as dead. I thought maybe the follow-up units that uThermal was gonna send across the map would win him the game, but the Planetary is still here. There's another snipe available. I didn't even think this was necessarily game over, but the Zerg had seen enough. Alright, our next game. We are once again on Moondance, but this time around, well, it's uThermal in the top left, and his opponent is once again Johnny the Barcode. However, he is playing with Terran. I'm assuming this is a completely different player, but this is once again someone at about 5,000 MMR. So in case you're unfamiliar, 5,000 MMR, it is right around, like, low Grandmaster, high Master. It kind of depends on the timing of the season, so right now it's still pretty early on into the season. It would definitely be Grandmaster League MMR. Anyhow, apparently Johnny is the one opening up with a little bit of aggression. I was wondering if uThermal is going to be... Okay, I was wondering if he's going to go for a bit of a faster command center this time around, because we are against Terran. And, for example, landing it right over here would be pretty amazing, right? If you can, like, land your planetary right over there, or your command center, and then morph it into a planetary, that would be sick. Against Zerg, you don't have that luxury, but... Okay, luckily here for uThermal, that is not the case, as he decides to go for a double gas start once again. So it's obviously very viable to go straight into a factory against Terran as well, right? Getting a couple of Hellions out, making a couple of Reapers. Definitely not a bad idea whatsoever. So uThermal, probably about 2,000 MMR higher than the opponent if he's really trying. He should be able to stay alive, even with a smaller amount of attacking units here in the early game, especially because he's considered to be one of the best micro players on the European, well, the European ladder. He scouts right now on the other side of the map that there's a whole lot of nothing. He sees that there's double gas taken for the opponent as well, so that should be all he really knows. And actually, there was another... Ooh, okay, there was another SC... No, that was his SV, sorry. There was another SCV headed on over in that direction. It didn't see all too much, but he's gonna find out here momentarily that he is going up against some aggression. And I guess seeing the direction right there of that one blue SCV is already, well, pretty much enough. Hello. Okay. Scouting worker, by the way, has moved on over towards the 6 o'clock position. I think we can all guess what that guy is going to be doing. At the same time, though, yeah. He realizes exactly what he's playing against. He's expecting Reapers into his main base momentarily. There's a second one being saved up, however, before Johnny commits. He's gonna go into the main base right now. How is the micro going to be? He catches one of them beautifully. First one goes down. Second one goes down as well. And that's what I'm talking about, man. That's the difference between pro gamers and guys that are pretty good at the game. A lot of people think Grandmaster League is pro gamer league. It's, I mean, at the tip of the top, obviously, that's where the top players are, but yeah, there's definitely a big difference between the guy at rank 190 and the guy at rank 19, or, you know, even higher than that. Anyhow, a little bit of fighting here happening, okay. Reaper trades, though, are A-okay right here for uThermal. Hellion at this point also available, so that's going to be the end of that. And in the meantime, he has spent a little bit of money, and he's decided to go for a command center all the way on the other side of the map. I know that there's going to be a bunch of you watching this that feel inspired after seeing uThermal succeed with this. Please report back. Let me know how it goes. Tweet at me, at LowkoTV. I'm always interested in hearing your ladder stories and your ladder journeys. It's gonna be so much fun to experiment with these strange build orders, because, I mean, if he can climb the ladder playing, you know, crazy strategies like this, yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't, right? Or why you can't. Anyhow, it's gonna be a medevac. Okay, so Hellions, medevacs, proxy planetary fortresses, the whole shebang. We do need to go for a NG Bay here momentarily. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, that one finished up apparently. He was trying to hide it from that one barracks, because normally you do fly one back home and then the other one, I guess, well, this time around it was blocking the opponent's natural. Either way, Scanning the main base right here. Gives him a little bit of time to prepare in advance. That Reaper needs to move. Johnny is gonna see what's going on here. That's why there's also a little bit of an army moving back. And now he sees the command center. You gotta go. No, no, no. Keep going. Keep going, SCV. He needs to prevent this from landing. I'm surprised how greedy uThermal's being with this. As long as this is prevented, as long as he keeps something underneath, he should be okay. I mean, that is still a large Terran army in red, though. He only needs a moment here. He's already scouted the NG base, so he knows what's coming into this main base next if he's not careful. Okay. Ooh. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, he does manage to get it. Planetary Fortress starts up right now. Second command center here for the player in blue. Just about to finish. This game is already pretty much over. Because there's already so many SCV losses. Eventually, I do believe the Cyclone should be able to clean all of this up. Yeah, so that's nice. There's still, I guess, double mule production here as well for the player in blue. Who's not going to try and prevent this from coming up. But already, well, the lock-on right now is being used inside of the main base. But already, that Planetary Fortress is about to finish. This is going to be well within range of both of these command centers. Mule right now lands as well from the other side of the map, as uThermal has also gone for another command center. Since his natural got blocked, he decided to go for his third base first. That Mule, not bad manners. Although some of you might consider this entire strategy bad manners. That Mule is used to repair that command center back up. Another SCV is just about to spawn. Good control right here, by the way, on the Cyclones. Keeping, that lock-on firing here all the time. Obviously, repairing is not free. Worst case scenario here, Johnny could just... Ooh, he's got to be very careful. Johnny could just lift off this command center, and I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. Beautiful dance, though, back and forth, right? Oh, picks up, gets, once again, that lock-on denied. This command center is going to lift off and indeed get on out of there. Planetary Fortresses do not have anti-air. But I guess, you know, a missile turret would work. Yeah, a missile turret would work. I'm not exactly sure about the missile turret, to be honest. Maybe... Yeah, he doesn't have perfect vision. He doesn't know exactly what he's playing against. So maybe he's a little bit concerned here for, I don't know, flying units to be a nuisance. A little bit of a new TikTok dance right over here from the Mule and, well, apparently also the SCV. So, now what? In the meantime, by the way, if we look away from this situation, there is indeed another command center that just finished up at the 9 o'clock position, at the third base. Missile turrets are coming up on both sides right now of the Planetary Fortress. This planetary is now, by the way, gunning away at the orbital command. There's a siege tank available right now too here for uThermal, which is pretty sweet, dropping that one off in the opponent's main base. Always a good position to be in. You can see that the crisis management here from our player in blue may not be as great as he needs it to be right now. APM-wise, he's fine. Micro-wise, he certainly seems quite capable. It's just that he's got way too much money in the bank, and he clearly is not sure what the correct approach is in this scenario. And Salt Cannon gets another win. Alright, now to round out this video properly, we need to see what the strategy looks like against Protoss. So this time around, we find ourselves on the map inside and out. And spawning right here in the top right-hand corner, we have uThermal, who actually gets his gas stolen. Alright, cheeky little Protoss player here in the opposite corner. He goes by the name of Urizen. Yuri Zen. Whatever you want to call it. Anyways, there's already a command center building right here in the middle of the map. Against Protoss, I think ideally, well, first off, you need to be in range of one of the Nexi, right? Preferably the one in the main base. But then ideally, you want to be also in range of any other structures, primarily things such as pylons and important tech structures, right? So if you can, I don't think you can really fit it in over. Well, maybe. I think the main base though, like for example right over here, in range of that pylon, in range of the nexus, that would be the sweet spot. Especially if you can also deny some gas, that would be fantastic. Now, having your gas stolen here actually is kind of rough. Yeah, Jimmy here has been tasked with a very big job because, well, it turns out planetary fortresses are rather expensive. Hellions are once again being built, fair enough. They're gonna be forced to deny this adept. Very important, though. Yeah, you need to micro this. He sees right now a gas over here. He needs gas really desperately. Are we gonna long distance mine gas? Is that the plan? I mean, that tell alone though, that tell alone is already a pretty good indicator that there is likely a command center gonna land on the low ground here very soon, right? Yuri probably feeling pretty good about himself. I mean, if you see this, maybe you haven't seen the CC, but yeah, it could probably be flying into the low ground here very quickly. Instead, yeah, we're gonna be, I think, long distance mining that gas for a little bit, just slowly trickling in the amount of gas he actually needs. Double SCV, by the way, this time around inside of that command center. Hellions are gonna start poking at the front. The idea is, yep, to distract these units. Yuri does not see this yet. He's scared for like an oracle or something. He's thinking of oracles, that sort of thing right now, but yeah, none of that is happening. He says, oh no. Hellion drop in the main base. Going around it. No, I think you need to go further. Okay, so I guess this is also a pretty good spot. Just cutting off in between the main and the natural is not a terrible suggestion. Oh no. Guys, it bothers me a little bit that Planetary Fortress rushes actually work against people that are at Grandmaster League MMR. I mean, this one hasn't proven itself yet. But it's, oh no, that Immortal is on the wrong side! That's actually so bad. That Immortal is, it's a full wall off. He can't send it back in. Oh god, okay, well that's GG. I was thinking maybe you should still be okay, right? Because battery overcharge, Planetary Fortress, bada bing, bada boom. This guy is gonna have to work his way through this, but there's not a lot of time. I mean, I say that. All of the Hellions still just died. Yeah, having the Immortal here would have been really sweet. Okay, you know what? No, this game is not over. This game is not over. What it has achieved, though, is chaos. And that chaos has been leveraged right now into a significant economical advantage. So this Planetary Fortress, I mean, it might not burn down just yet because there is an SCV coming. There's also an observer over here, apparently just sunbathing. Or lava bathing. Okay, Planetary is gonna go down eventually. SCV is gonna go down as well. Let us have a look at the resources lost at this point. So, this is very, very good actually for the Terran player. That Planetary Fortress was just an harassment vehicle. 24 probes are down. Yeah, because you're panicking, right? When you see the Planetary coming up, and this might not even be the end of it. Because you're panicking when that Planetary goes up, suddenly the multitasking against the Hellions. This is way more legit than I thought it was gonna be. That's actually so funny. Like, obviously, you rely, like, this is not likely to ever become a strategy at the super high level of StarCraft 2, right? Because you could practice against this. But if you don't know that this is coming, and you see it for the very first time, I've said it many times, right? Like, if you're a StarCraft player, you'll probably find yourself being pretty bad at, well, playing the game reactively, right? Generally speaking, StarCraft players do their thinking outside the game. So you look at the replay and you decide, okay, this time when I'm in this exact situation, I'm gonna do this and this and that differently. And that's usually the way you learn. There are some players out there that can think and play at the same time, but the majority of players, as soon as they start thinking, they will play significantly worse. And this is very much so one of those strategies where thinking is thrown into the game when you really don't want it to be, because suddenly there's these fast-moving fire cars all over your main base. Okay, so it's now 35 probes that have gone down. Yuri has done a pretty decent job, though, of building up a decent worker count. He also has a pretty solid amount of units. But right now, in the meantime, on the other side of the map, okay, we've got a good amount of production here as well for uThermal. So maybe it's now health, but now you're playing a macro game against uThermal. Yeah, that's tricky. That's tricky. A macro game as well, where you're economically maybe not in a terrible position, because Terran's been mining off of one base for a long time. As a matter of fact, double mules in the main base at this point is really expensive. You can see that those mineral fields are already running low. But yeah, now the economy is certainly not bad anymore here for the Terran player. Now the natural is secured. And suddenly you have to play a macro game. So this okay, this starport is just gonna chill out here. Fair enough. It made a tech lab to go for a Raven. Fair enough. And it's now also gonna produce a reactor over here, so I guess we're just gonna go into some standard production. Yuri is gonna scout around this section of the map because he realized, wait a second, this has all been a little bit funky. I haven't seen too much on the other side, and now he does see that there's a random starport here. Again, thinking, what do we do, Yuri? Yeah, we're gonna go there, I guess? I mean, is that bait? I mean, we've already gotten baited pretty hard. Got a feeling you should probably be able to go there pretty easily. Knock down the rocks, get it done. In the meantime, by the way, another Nexus is building here at the 6 o'clock position. We don't have a forge yet here for our Protoss. As a matter of fact, we've got no forge, we've got no gateways. There's a Raven over here. This is not the reworked version of the Raven. It is dealing a little bit of damage, but... Okay. Ooh, actually, hold up. Let me just back off for a second. I was gonna say, there might not be a lot of gateway units, but what there is a War Prism filled with 2 Disruptors. Good observer positioning here by Yuri. And as we just already saw, a couple of those Marines will go down. Not all of them, though. Good hit. Colossus is coming up here as well for Protoss. And this is always a nice position, right? On this map, if you can just continuously... You gotta continuously keep going, though, Yuri. Yuri! 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 Okay. You really want to delay this for as long as possible, but this is still pretty manageable here. Okay, well, unless you end up losing one of the balls, that's pretty bad. Oh, no. We are on 2 gateways still, aren't we? Or 3 gateways right now. Where's that 3rd gateway? Am I dumb? Where's the 3rd gateway? Oh, it's right over there. Sorry. For some reason, I thought we had a low ground expo here right from the get-go. That would be kind of silly. Anyways, I think he should be okay. No, he's still going to be okay. He should have definitely had additional warpins here for a little while already, but... I mean, he cleans this up. He cleans this up. Okay, step up the pace, Yuri. Gateways are coming down right now. We need to get more and more workers going. Preferably, we'd also like to get external thermal lens and more Colossus and all that, but... It's all a little bit tricky. This Raven here in the bottom left-hand corner has been quite annoying, though. 8 confirmed kills right now. That's not bad at all. Better get used to it, Protoss players, because these Ravens with the rework, they're going to be a little bit cheaper. Maybe the auto turrets will be easier to kill, but they will deal just as much damage. And if you're not careful, you're going to be harassed to death. Maybe even with a Planetary Fortress, who knows? Salt Cannon right now, going in for another attack wave. Additional barracks coming up. 3rd command center already about halfway done as well. This is now suddenly a much more terrifying army because now there's also Marauders in the mix. They just once again walk straight through the center. A lot of Zealots are bleeding out here. Prism not available in this location here, so, I mean, Disruptor would be very nice to, yeah, there you go, to use as well. Cutting off the supply here, though, from the natural straight to the opponent's 3rd base would be sweet. Okay. A couple of these Zealot Warpins do get denied. Colossus right now being targeted as well, and it does go down. The +1 upgrades here are, well, noticeable. These Marines and Marauders just do more damage than the Protoss units do. As long as you manage to dodge those balls, everything is A-okay. Just a Disruptor going down. Another Disruptor hunted here as well. uThermal! Urizen knew it. Urizen knew. But indeed, it is uThermal who obtains the victory.